Have you ever felt like you're slowly fading from the world around you? You're still here, living in the same home, surrounded by familiar faces. Yet somehow, it feels like you've become invisible. Like you're watching life go by through a window that no one else can see. As we grow older, certain things begin to shift. Friends aren't as available as they used to be. The phone doesn't ring as often, and mornings feel heavier. Not because of your body, but because you're unsure what the day is even for. Little by little, a quiet emptiness creeps in. You smile, but it doesn't reach your heart. You keep going, but you wonder, why? You're not alone in feeling this way. But here's something we all need to understand. Depression isn't just sadness. It's not weakness. And it's not just part of getting old. It's a real illness, a mental wound, just like a physical one, that needs care, attention, and healing. And that's what we'll explore together in this video. We'll talk about how to recognize depression in older adults. We'll uncover the hidden causes behind this emotional pain. And most importantly, we'll walk through ways to reconnect, rediscover joy, and begin the healing process. Because even now, at your age, life is still worth living. And so are you. Depression in older adults doesn't always look like sadness. In fact, many seniors don't even realize they're depressed. They say things like, "I'm just tired lately. There's nothing exciting anymore." It's just part of getting old. But behind those words could be real emotional pain that needs to be recognized. So how do we spot depression when it's hiding in plain sight? Let's look at some common but often overlooked signs. 1. Loss of interest in things they used to enjoy. If your loved one used to love gardening, walking, or chatting with neighbors, but now avoids them completely, it's more than just a mood. It may be a sign their emotional energy is gone. 2. Changes in sleep patterns. Waking up too early, struggling to fall asleep, or sleeping much more than usual are all red flags. 3. Physical complaints without a clear cause. Frequent headaches, body aches, or stomach problems without a medical explanation could be how depression is expressing itself. 4. Withdrawal and isolation. Avoiding phone calls, family visits, or even simple conversations. These aren't just habits. They can be signs of emotional retreat. 5. Feelings of worthlessness or being a burden. Phrases like, "I'm just in the way," or "everyone would be better off without me," should never be ignored. These signs are subtle. They don't always come with tears, but they carry weight, emotional weight that's heavy and often invisible. Depression doesn't mean someone is weak. It means they're hurting silently. And the first step toward healing is recognizing that hurt. So if you, or someone you love, is showing these signs, don't dismiss them, don't brush them off. Because the sooner we name it, the sooner we can begin to heal it. Let's ask a hard but necessary question. Why do so many older adults suffer in silence with depression? The truth is, it's not just about the symptoms. It's about what we've been taught to believe and what society tends to ignore. 1. I'm just getting old. Mistaking depression for aging. Many seniors believe that feeling tired, losing interest, or struggling emotionally is just a natural part of getting older. But that's not true. Growing older may bring challenges, but losing your joy, energy, or will to live is not inevitable. That's not aging. That's depression, and it's treatable. 2. Generational mindset. I have to stay strong. For many people over 50, mental health wasn't talked about growing up. They were taught to tough it out, to not complain, and to handle problems privately. That strength is admirable, but it can become a wall. A wall that keeps people from asking for help, even when they truly need it. 3. Shame, stigma, and fear of judgment. Many older adults feel embarrassed about feeling mentally weak. They might worry others will think they're being dramatic, ungrateful, or even unstable. This stigma keeps them silent. But mental health struggles are not a personal failure. They are human. And they are treatable. 4. Doctors miss the signs too. Unfortunately, even healthcare providers sometimes overlook depression in seniors. They may focus on physical issues and miss the emotional ones, especially if the patient isn't openly talking about how they feel. That's why family, friends, and caregivers play such an important role in recognizing the signs and speaking up. The sad truth? Many older adults never get diagnosed, never get treatment, and never get better. Not because they don't want to, but because no one saw the pain, or worse, they saw it and didn't know what to do. But now that we know, we can begin to change that. Let's move forward, because there is help. There is healing. Next, we'll talk about the root causes of depression in seniors and why understanding those causes is key to real recovery. Absolutely. Here's the next section. If we want to help ourselves or someone we love heal from depression, we have to understand where it comes from. Because depression doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It often grows slowly from changes in our bodies, our lives, and our hearts. Let's take a closer look at some of the most common causes. 1. Loss of purpose or identity retirement. Children moving away, or the loss of long-time routines can leave many older adults wondering, who am I now? When your career ends or your role in the family shifts, it's easy to feel like your life has lost direction. That loss of identity can quietly open the door to sadness, hopelessness, and emotional numbness. 2. Chronic illness or physical pain. Living with ongoing health problems like arthritis, heart disease, or limited mobility can be exhausting. Not just physically, but mentally. Pain can isolate us. It can make everyday tasks feel overwhelming. And over time, it can drain our emotional resilience. 3. Grief and loss. The older we get, the more likely we are to lose loved ones. A spouse, a sibling, a lifelong friend. These losses leave behind empty spaces in our lives and in our hearts. Grief is natural, but when it lingers too long, it can lead to depression. 4. Loneliness and isolation. This is one of the biggest triggers, and it's often invisible. Even people who live with family or in a community can feel profoundly lonely if they feel unheard, unseen, or disconnected. Human connection isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for mental health at every age. 5. Unspoken fears. Fear of becoming a burden. Fear of losing independence. Fear of the future. These silent worries can build up in the background until they become overwhelming, fueling anxiety and depression. These causes aren't always obvious from the outside, but once we understand them, we can take steps to address them with love, support, and the right tools. In the next part, we'll talk about exactly that. Now that we understand the causes of depression in older adults, let's shift our focus to what really helps. Not just temporary fixes, but practical, powerful changes that can bring light back into life. These are not one-size-fits-all solutions, but even one small change can spark a big transformation. 1. Talk to someone and keep talking. Whether it's a friend, a therapist, or a doctor, opening up is the first step. You don't have to carry everything alone. Just saying, "I'm struggling," can be a huge relief. There's strength in vulnerability, and healing begins with conversation. And if your loved one is the one struggling, check in gently and consistently. Sometimes, just being there is more powerful than any advice. 2. Find a daily rhythm. Depression often steals our sense of structure and direction. Rebuilding that with small routines, like morning stretches, a daily walk, or a regular hobby, can help the mind regain a sense of order. Simple rituals give us something to look forward to and help bring stability back into our days. 3. Stay physically active. Even a little movement releases endorphins, our body's natural mood boosters. You don't need to run marathons. Gentle activities like Tai Chi, yoga, dancing, or even gardening can lift the spirit and calm the mind. Consistency matters more than intensity. A little movement every day goes a long way. 4. Stay socially connected. Isolation is a breeding ground for depression. Reach out, even if it's just to say hello. Join a club, call a friend, volunteer, or try something new. Connection brings purpose, and purpose brings energy. If you're helping a loved one, invite them into conversations, ask for their opinions, include them in simple plans. These small gestures say, "You matter." 5. Reignite old passions. Or discover new ones. What used to bring you joy? Painting, cooking, music? Reconnecting with old hobbies or discovering new interests can reignite the spirit. Passion gives color to life. It reminds us that joy is still possible. It's never too late to start something new, never too late to feel alive again. Healing from depression isn't always fast or easy, but it is possible. And every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. In the final part of this video, we'll leave you with a message of hope and a reminder that your life still holds meaning. Stay with us for Part 6. Life is still worth living. Life is still worth living. Depression can make the world seem gray, like the light is fading and nothing feels worth holding on to. But if you're hearing this right now, I want you to remember one thing. Your story isn't over. There is still laughter waiting to be shared. Still love to be felt. Still mornings to wake up to. Still moments of peace, beauty, and even joy. You have already overcome so much in life. You've endured change, loss, uncertainty, and time itself. That strength? It's still in you. And even now, it's guiding you toward healing. Depression is not a weakness. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's a wound, and wounds can heal. With care, with connection, with patience and support. And with the quiet, powerful decision to keep going, one step at a time. You are not alone. You are deeply valued, and the world is still better with you in it. So let's keep walking forward. Let's keep choosing life, because even in the darkest seasons, there is always hope. And sometimes, the smallest light can shine the brightest in the dark. Thank you for watching. If this message touched your heart, please consider sharing it with someone who might need it. You're not alone, and you never have to walk this path alone again. We're here with you, always.